Welcome to Beginning to Blend, a new Blender-centric video series focusing on two methods of modeling in Blender. I'm your host and guide, JoRaSe, and I hope you'll stick around for the duration of these videos. Alright everyone, the last time we did a bookshelf, and before that we did a book. This time we're going to step out of the realm of cubes and cube-like objects and into cylindrical objects. This time we're looking to do a vase. So let's go ahead and fire up Blender. And this time we don't need this cube, but as always, before I get going, need to turn on screencast. So now you all can see what I'm doing. And let's go ahead and get backface culling checked. Don't need that open anymore. Can hide that, and that, and that, and that. Now, we've been working with the default cube for most of our models up to this point, but we're going to delete it using the X key and then a left click on the mouse. And we're going to come over to the Create tab on the left. We're going to click it, and we're going to add in a cylinder. And there we have our cylinder. Let me just max out the window. There we go. Now, we have these options over here on the left when we add the cylinder in. Vertices, radius, depth, cap fill type, generate UVs, align to view, for where it needs to be in relation to the grid, and if we want it automatically rotated on an axis. The only thing we're going to worry with is vertices, and we want to take it down from 32 to 12. And we want to hit enter. And if you watched the mesh, you could see the amount of faces change. That's because we've set it to have 12 vertices at the top and 12 at the bottom, compared to 32 at the top and 32 at the bottom, which it had before. The other thing we want to do is change the cap fill type from N-gon to nothing. So that removes the top cap and the bottom. And the reason we did this is because we're going to need to work with those areas a bit more than we can with the N-gon. But we can go ahead and fill them in the way they need to be filled in. If we hit the Tab key to go into edit mode and deselect everything by hitting the A key, we can select these vertices and hit the E button to extrude. Oh, forgive me. Deselect that. And just to make sure you guys know what I'm doing when I'm selecting things. To select the edge loop, which is what I'm doing, it's the Shift and Alt keys and then right click on the mouse. Now let's hit the E button or the E key on the keyboard to extrude, and then the W key, and we want to merge at center. Now we're going to go to the bottom and do the same there. All right, now we've got a modified basic cylinder to work with. Now we can go ahead and pull in our background reference image. So we're going to go to Add Image and Open. And we want to go to the Beginning Blend folder, Vase Reference, Vase Reference. Go into Right Perspective View, switch out of perspective with the 5 key on the numpad. And there we have our image. Now let's come over here and up the opacity on the image from 0.5 to 1. Makes it real easy to see everything. And up here, this circle, or group of circles, is the top view of the Vase model. Right now we're not going to worry with that, but it can come in handy, so I included it. Let's hit the G key and move our cylinder over. And go ahead and hit the Tab key to go back into edit mode. And the Z key to go into wireframe. Hit the B button, or B key on the keyboard, and left click and drag the mouse to grab the bottom set of vertices and pull them all the way down to the bottom of the reference image. Now we're going to do the same with the top set of vertices. They're going all the way up to the top. Like so. Now we want to go ahead and scale the bottom ones out so they match the reference image. And we go ahead and do the same with the top. Now we need to add in some loop cut or loop cuts. So we're going to hit the loop cut button. Going to come over and let's start by adding in 4. And to get 4, you just scroll the mouse wheel up till you have 4 purple lines. And you know what? Before we OK it, let's just see how many you can actually add, because I've never taken it to the max. So let's just keep scrolling it up till it can't go any farther. Okay, it seems like it will never end. And the number of cuts right now would be 192. So apparently you can go up to your heart's content. And all I'm looking for are 4. Get it back down to where it needs to be, and one left click locks them in, nearly locks them in place. Left click again, and now it's locked in place. So with this, we can now begin to get the basic shape by scaling these in. So right here, grab this one and let's pull it up a little bit and start scaling it in. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And it would seem that I did not get it directly in the middle. So I had tabbed out and am working to fix that. I want it centered up on the reference image, because that will make it easier for anyone to copy what I'm doing. So now that I've done that, I have tabbed back in and now reselected the vertices I had, and we'll continue scaling them in. And we're just going to carry this on with these 4 basic loops that we added down. This just helps us get the very, very basic contour. And this I'm going to pull down to here. Now with this, we have a little bit of an issue because these are, it's not a straight line. So we need to just nudge these down. Same with these. Like so. Now let's finish off the bulge here. Let's add 2 more loop cuts, and we're going to start them off down at the bottom. So I want to scale it up. There's one, and bring this one right about here and scale it up as well. Pull it down a bit more. Now add in another loop cut, and this one we want it matching the straight line at the top, so we drag it all the way up to the top and then drag it back down and scale it out. Now add 2 more, I believe, will be enough. I was wrong, we needed another one. There we go. The bowl or bulge portion is now complete. You can tab into object mode and look at it. Looks nice. So now we're going to go back into edit mode, go back into wireframe, and add 2 loops here, and just scale them down to match the background image. And now for this one, we need 2. And the first one, we want to copy the rounded outline. like so, and then bring this one down. And scale it in. And now, since this has a defined bulge to it, we need to put another one in right at the same level as the other one and scale it in just a touch. And if we tab out and go into shaded view, you can see that that gives us a nice, clearly defined edge. And we will do the same down here as well. Let me go ahead and go back down there and fix that. So that we have a clearly defined edge. All right, with that out of the way, we can now focus back up here on the top. And let's first, again, add the edge here. And now for the inner portion here, and just finish off this portion. By adding edge loops where we need them and scaling them in. To follow the contour of our reference image. So there we have a almost completed vase. Now we still need to add some inner dimensions to it. So in edit mode, we're going to grab these faces up here at the top. And if we hit the E key to extrude and scale it in, we can get our top edge, as it were. And now we're just going to hit the Z key and extrude it one more time, down, and one more time, and scale it in. And now we can just do one big extrusion down and try to follow the exterior edge loops as best as possible while doing this. It helps to ensure that your interior and exterior shapes come out looking the way they should. And you just want to have enough space between them so that when you're looking at it in shaded or object view, you're not seeing the other faces poking through. Because they will if you're not scaling them down properly, and I'll show you what I mean by that with that right here. So we can see we have faces showing up where they shouldn't. Go into object mode and you can still see them. So that's why we do it the other way. We line it up and make sure it stays lined up. And keep a small gap between just keep going till we get all the way down. And once we get to this part, we're not going to follow it. We're just going to drop all the way down. Because if you think of this little decorative ridge in something that would have liquid or something that could get dirty, you're not going to want to have to wash that out. So usually that little edge would have been a decorative piece that wouldn't have been built into the inner side as well. Now just back to how we were doing before. And we're just about to the bottom. And once we start getting to the curve, we're not going to worry about matching up all of the vertices. We're just going to keep going and bring the curve of the actual edge loop in a bit more. And I do believe that is it. That's all for this session of Polygonal Art with JoRaSe. If you enjoyed what you saw, how about giving this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos from me. In the video description below, you'll find my Patreon link. Feel free to check it out. Now, on to the credits.